This is the Intelligent Human Voice Podcast Network. I'm your host, the PatMan, from the Bay to LA and beyond, baby. That's right. We got the music covered. Grab the popcorn. You know, I'm not responsible for, any milk, that comes out your nose as you're listening to these stories. I'm not responsible, but, grab the popcorn, grab your juice, grab your favorite drink, and I'm going to share with you some stories and adventures that could only happen to me. It could only happen to me. If it's happened to you before, well, I feel sorry for you. I'll be right back. Just let these tunes marinate on you. I call it Heater Skeeter. Heater Skeeter. Yo, this is the PatMan representing the Intelligent Human Voice Podcast Network. If you're tuning in for the first time, well, welcome. I'm happy to have you here. I don't have many subscribers, but this is the beginning stage of something awesome that is coming forth into the new year. And I just want to share all that I am, starting with this Christmas series. Now, there's no way I'm going to be able to tell all these stories into one podcast, but I'll give as much as I can, and maybe I'll break it off into, two shows. So the one thing I want to say about the Bay Area, that, people would, as long as I've been living in LA for about 15 years, people they have a different perspective about, what Los Angeles is without ever having spent time here. It's like, I've heard folks say, oh, LA is this and LA is that. And I'm like, well, where'd you go when you visit, when you were here? And they're like, oh, we went to the Hall of Fame, where the stars. I said, that's Hollywood. That's like a block. It's like from one end to the other. That's it. That's not LA. You know how big LA is? Oh, well, we were only there for a couple of days. I was like, so you have a perspective from that on what LA is? No. I'm not going on a tangent, but I was just having this conversation with someone about, the Bay Area versus LA. And I was like, well, it's two different places in time and space, and LA has changed so much and the Bay Area has changed so much. I like them both, actually. I like them both, but the Bay Area, that was my stomping ground. That's where I grew up, and so many adventures. But why I bring all this up about the Bay Area is that it was nice. The Bay Area is nice. That's why the rent is so damn high, because it's a nice place to live. I mean, and I guess you really don't know that until you go away for a while and you come back. Because, I like LA, and LA has a lot to offer. You can, in any 360 degrees, you can be in beautiful wherever you want to be. I can see snow from my place here in downtown LA. I can see snow on the mountains in one direction, the Hollywood sign in another direction, the beach in another direction, and then freeways in a whole. So it's like, whatever, man. You just got to travel. You got to get out and you got to see some things and not go on what other people have to say, and get your own experiences in life. That's it. So brings me to the point I want to bring up about growing up in the Bay Area being nice. See, I grew up in Northern California, Oakland, North Oakland. And it wasn't the hood. I can't really call North Oakland the hood because most of the people I grew up with, had homes. I grew up in an apartment. So a lot of the kids I knew, they had houses, they had garages and, backyards and front yards. We had, tried to have grass in the front. That didn't work out too much. We had a fence, but it was an apartment. It wasn't a home. I didn't really know what a home was until I actually went over to my cousin's house. I was like, "You got an attic? What's an attic?" He's like, "Yeah, we got an attic." I was like, "Wow, like the Brady Bunch." He's like, "Yeah, like the Brady Bunch." I guess that was my only reference to living in the house. But regardless, moms always came through with like the biggest Christmas tree I've ever seen in my life. We have pictures of one year we got a Christmas tree that was so big, like it was bended over on the ceiling, like there was nowhere to put the star in. No one could think to, cut it. And I was like, well, just snip it. He's like, yeah, but where are you going to put the star, if you snip it? I was like, geez. So this tree is like bent off in the corner. It's so big. And there were presents everywhere. My moms would come through for Christmas every time. That's what I'm saying. I can't relate to people saying, living in the hood. And I guess that was a hood, but we to be hood, we had great times. Christmas, Christmas was awesome. I got everything I wanted all the time, every time. Oh, I want that Casio keyboard, the SK5. And I know there's a lot of people who did this too, so don't try to front. But there was a catalog. Now, here's the thing. There was no Toys R Us. Well, there might have been Toys R Us like in, Fremont or somewhere else, but you had to travel to the nearest Toys R Us as a kid. All we knew was the commercials with the giraffe, Jeffrey the giraffe, talking about Toys R Us. The closest thing we had to toy stores was, I think it was like JCPenney's and Sears. These are department stores that carried toys. And they would send out their catalog, their Christmas catalog. And they would have all these toys in there, that's the only way. Between TV commercials, doing the cartoons, and that JCPenney and Sears catalog, that was your toy store. That was our internet. And I just remember going into the catalog and circling all kind of stuff, what I wanted. The thing is, my mom would be like, you can pick one thing that you really want, and you may or may not get it. And then everything else, she's like, I get to pick it. It's like, whatever, as long as I get what I want, that's an even trade. That's a good deal. So that's how I got into music, because every year at one point I wanted a musical instrument. So I would get these keyboards that did amazing things. But this one, my brother, oh my God, this guy, let me share this story. I've held on to this story for a long time. I don't even think my mother knows about this story, but my brother, no one that knows me, I'm just a straight up dude. I'm a dude, I'm a dude from Oakland, and, folks from Oakland, they little rugged, but we're highly intelligent beings. I always say that Oakland is a mecca, like, a mecca of intelligence. Like there's Oakland, there's New York, there's Miami, and there's the Bay Area. So I don't know why I went on that tangent, but lost my train of thought. I'll be damned. So we didn't grow up in the hood, but my brother, this guy, he was just, we're the total opposite of each other, the total opposite. And I got in trouble because of this guy. I would say I would get an ass whooping by association. I was a good kid. So, but this guy, because I had to watch after this guy, he was always getting into something and always doing something, like eating sugar. This guy would eat, I'm not kidding you. He would eat sugar raw, just raw, like spoonsful. I'd be like, dude, what are you doing? He's sitting there watching, like he's watching. I could hear him. I'm watching cartoons, and he see that I'm so into the cartoon that, I'm distracted, but I can my brain is always moving. I pick up everything at any time. So I know he's in the cabinet. I can hear the cabinet creeping. This guy would go in there, get a spoon, take a mouthful and spoonful of sugar, and try to wash the spoon away. I've known everything. He thinks I'm so into the TV. So he'll come and sit down with a mouthful of sugar, and I'm like, dude, what's in your mouth? What's in your mouth? Nothing. And I have to hold him, choke him, and see it. And then I'll go, yo, mom's Steve's eating raw sugar. He's eating raw. No, I mean, you always telling on somebody. It's like, dude, you shouldn't eat raw sugar. You know how crazy that is? It's crazy. What's crazy is what I've discovered about sugar now in my present. That's a whole nother podcast, but that was my brother. That's how nutty this guy is. And we're like a year in between. I think he's like early or late 40s. Yeah, late 40s. But we're like a year apart. This guy, one year, this was the year of Nintendo. Nintendo was coming out. Everybody was getting Nintendo. And I think he was either getting Nintendo or PlayStation. And we wanted to get Nintendo. So mom's, like I said, she always came through for us. And she got the Nintendo. Now here's the thing. She wraps up the gift. She wraps up the Nintendo, right? She didn't tell us, but my brother's so sneaky. He just had to, he would be putting his ear to the door, listening and all this kind of stuff. And my mother put a lock on her door, so we couldn't get in. My brother, this guy, savage. He didn't get, well, he did eventually jimmy the lock so he can get into her room to get to the candy, but that's a whole nother story. She wrapped up all the gifts. My moms went shopping. Like I said, we would have gifts for days, boxes and stuff. They were all out in the living room. You couldn't even sit on the couch. That's how many gifts, grandchildren and everybody. Mother is very giving. So, she would try to outsmart us by putting different names on boxes, so we would be totally confused, right? That didn't stop my brother. It didn't stop this guy. So let me share this, because you guys don't even know. You don't even know. Maybe I should get a drink. I'm gonna get a little sip or something, and I'm gonna turn the music back up so you can vibe for a minute, so I can continue telling this story. And I hope because you gotta hear what this guy did. And I've been holding on to this for a while. Like I said, I don't think my mom knows about it, and it's it's like I said, it's been 20, 30, almost 30 some years, but it is it's savage. It's savage. So hold on for a second, get your vibe on, and give me a drink, and we're gonna continue this story. All right, I'm not gonna forget. Yeah. This is the intelligent. Hold on a second. Hold on. That's better. This is the Intelligent Human Voice Podcast Network. I'm your host, the PatMan. Had to take a little break while I left you with tune I created, Heater Skeeter. Yeah, I got some vocals coming on that a little later. But I'm going to get back into part 2 of this story about my brother. So, like I said, let me take you back. Mom's had already packaged up all these gifts, ribbons, put different names on the packages, but my brother. So here's the thing: Mom's went out shopping again. Like Saturday night they went shopping again. She wasn't done, so we're trying to guesstimate, how long she's going to be out. So we're asking kind of questions, figuring out, where she's going, how long she'd be out. My brother, as soon as she left, this guy started going through the gifts, like shaking the boxes, trying to figure out what's in what. And he's like, dude, you gotta be on the lookout. I was like, dude, this guy's killing me. He's killing me. He's always put me in this position too. And so I was like, whatever, dude, just stay out of my way. That was my thing. Just stay out of my way. As long as I know what you're doing and you're not trying to burn up the house, just stay out of my way. And so he found the Nintendo, but here's the thing. He opened up the box so that, because my mom was good with the packaging, but he did it in such a way that he could put the Nintendo. So here's the thing. What I'm trying to say is that he took the game out of the box while it was still packaged, pulled it out, hooked it up to the TV, connected it, started playing some of the games, and by the time Mom's was coming back, because I was the lookout person or whatever while he's playing these games, he would put the game back into the box. Now, and tape it up and then put it to the side. Mom's would have never known. No one would ever know. That was just something that we knew. And this guy was playing these games. I didn't play. He was like, dude, you gotta play. I was like, nah, man, you just ruined Christmas. This guy ruined Christmas playing with, who plays with the games like 2 weeks before Christmas? This guy did it. He did it. I don't know what else it was, because this was Nintendo. So there was a game where you shoot a dog. It was like Duck Hunt or something. And, I played that a couple of times, but yeah. Can you imagine that? We were playing Nintendo. So here's the thing. Christmas comes around, and Mom's like, we're opening our gifts. And I think the Nintendo was, it was still tucked off to the back. We kept putting it in the position in the back. And then, I think Steve was like trying to play the role, like, where's the Nintendo? I thought you was going to get us a Nintendo. She's like, shut up, boy. You think you know everything. I ain't get nothing. How about that? I ain't get nothing. And we're sitting there looking at each other like, yeah, sure. You didn't get nothing. You're a great liar, Mom. We didn't say that, of course, white kids will say that, but you don't say nothing like that. You never say liar. You just don't. So, of course, she played around for a while. She's like, y'all make me sick. You think you're supposed to get what you're supposed to get? Because if you wasn't getting good grades, you wouldn't get nothing. And that was the thing. Me and my brother were excellent in education. I was really good in every subject, period. Math, algebra and geometry, got weird with numbers and letters. But my brother, really, really good in math. I was in spelling bees. He was in what they call the math Olympics. So really smart, but sneaky. He's always been like that. He had always been like that. And I remember after a while, we stopped fighting because I got tired of fighting with this guy. I was like, I'm done. But he was scared of me. I could tell he was scared of me because I went off on him one time and that was it. He was like, I can't mess with this dude. This dude is crazy. I was like, yeah. And they think you're the one because you're messing around with the law and stuff like that. Anyway, so that was my Christmas story, my first Christmas story. I want to share with you guys. Maybe I'll switch up the music a little bit. Yeah. See, you can do that when you have your own music. I want to give a shout out to anyone who is listening right now. Little Dominique, if she sleep, what's up, little Dominique? Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. You can listen to this later. It's live now, but you can listen to it later, again and again and again. So, Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays to Verlita and her family. Merry Christmas to and Happy Holidays to the entire Anderson family. We lost my auntie passed away yesterday, and we just hold her into prayers and hold my family into prayers. But as my buddy Mark says, death is part of life, and I get that. I get that now. I totally get it. I've experienced a lot. I don't want to say I lost, because I don't feel like we've lost anything. If anything, we've gained more wisdom and respect for people. I just think a life gets better. As people are here, you learn to appreciate who's here. And even more and more. And you can only do so much, but it doesn't mean that you put your life on hold, because people live their lives. We're all living our life. And what's in the end, we have no idea. But the memories that we have of those who we have experienced life on Gaia is just a beautiful thing to cherish. So to my Aunt Sharon, rest in paradise. To my aunties who are still on planet Earth, and my grandmother, Happy New Year's, happy life, and Christmas is today. That's how I see it. The thing that, look at this. I'm doing a scroll. I don't want to get sidetracked, but I'm doing a scroll while I'm, this is the benefit that I should have been doing the podcast from the phone the whole time, because I've been having some serious technical difficulties with the equipment that I have that should work when it works, and it doesn't work every time. The consistency is annoying. So, you spend this kind of money on equipment, it's supposed to work. It's supposed to work when it's supposed to work. Anyway, I said I was going to play a new song before I tell this next story. I got to tell this next story because, and I'm going to tell you why I got sidetracked. I got to tell this next story. This next story is about, it was during the holidays. Oh, gosh, I got to tell this story. I hope some of my old school boys are listening to this from Oakland, because this involves a shopping holiday from hell, what I called it. It was with my buddy Pierre and his twin sister. Oh God, you guys got to hear this. You got to hear this. If you're still listening, let me play some new stuff. There we go. This is the Intelligent Human Voice Podcast Network. I'm your host, the PatMan, from the Bay to LA and beyond. We're sharing some of the greatest stories ever told by yours truly, the PatMan from Oakland, making my way here in LA for the past 15 years. Can you believe I've been here for 15 years? 15 years, you got 15 years. Time for me, it's like it's been standing still. Every day is a new day. I cherish every moment, more different than the other. And it's just great to be in the space that I am. I'm not complaining. I'm not arguing with anyone. I'm not doing anything that I do not want to do. And that's a great feeling. That is a great feeling. I wish that feeling for everybody. If you don't like what you're doing, don't do it. If it don't make you feel good, just come up with another plan. Come up with hit the reset button. I'm hitting the reset button. If I can hit the reset button, I've hit the reset button a lot in the past 15 years. I've hit that reset button a lot. And this reset is the most different because I've learned, I've applied, I've lived, I understand, I've understood. I'm more enlightened than I was when I started this journey over 15 years ago. I'm way more enlightened. I'm practicing gratitude now, a lot more gratitude into the new year, which I started like 3 months ago. This program of what I call PGD, Practice Gratitude Daily. And it's just waking up in the morning and being grateful for who you are and what you are and what you're part of, as opposed to spewing negativity and bandwagon drama, because that's all it is. It's drama. It's attention getting stuff. It's what it is distracting you. No, it's distracting you from being the person that you yearn to be. And maybe you yearn to be something not so great in the world. Well, so be it. Is there a wrong or right in that? There has to be a balance, right? Black and white. Love and hate. I envision peacefulness all the time. I think it's very achievable in the now. But there are entities, there are beings, there are positions in place that don't want to see that. But I say, don't get distracted by the outside worldly nonsense. Because I'm telling you, the real heaven is all up in you. It's who you are. It's what you are part of. It's who we are part of. It's why you're listening live or not listening, or will listen later, because you want to be a part of this experience, this holiday feel that I think can be duplicated every day in our lives. I know it can, because I've been living it. And that's why I make the music to go along the magic. I call it my soundtrack. It's like what I play, I create, and then I come up with some of the greatest ideas of. It's like, how did I imagine something like that? Where'd that come from? I'm not going on a tangent. I'm feeling the vibe like you feeling the vibe. When you turn the music up, I'll turn it up a little bit. There's a chat session. I'm not sure how that works. I gotta invite you. That means I would have to connect on Facebook Friends. I don't want to connect this phone to Facebook, but I can do it via email. All right. I'm gonna send a bunch of folks some emails and to listen in on live. Let's see here. Let's see. This is cool. So I can send you a message in real time saying, listen to me live. Alright, I gotta work this magic again. Let's see here. I'll send this to Queen A and Aquila. Alright, I gotta create a email list. Send this to folks because I don't want to invite people on Facebook. The dynamics of Facebook is a trip because I notice it's a lot of old people on Facebook, and don't take that wrong. You're old. You're an elder. Just that the dynamics, the demographics are way different. Like the stuff that people talk about on Facebook, they are not talking about on Instagram. Trust me. So this other story, oh my gosh, do I even want to share this? Yes, I'll share it. I was thinking about another story. There's a part 4 to this because the story that happened to me one New Year's is not even funny. Actually 2 New Year's in a row. So there's a bunch of stories here, and anybody that knows me and knows some of these stories, they're like, oh, dude, tell the story about, and I'm like, yeah, I don't care. It's my truth. It's my life. It's what's happened. I don't care. It happened. I'll leave the names out, but it did happen, and I'm going to tell it. I'm going to tell my story. All right. So, this one year. So I used to hang out with my buddy P. P was from Berkeley. We became buddies working at McDonald's in Berkeley. And P was is a funny dude. He would just crack jokes and laugh at himself. He would laugh, and I was okay. I'm okay with everybody. I'm just neutral. I'm just a neutral dude. If it's funny, it's funny. But this guy would crack jokes where they weren't that funny, but because he laughed, and his laugh was just it was I can't even imitate his laugh, but it was the fact that he would tell this joke that wasn't funny and then laugh at his own joke with this ridiculous laugh. It made it funny. It made it funnier. And that's why we hung out. We didn't see eye to eye on business thing and the music stuff. My passion was definitely, more serious because I'm a trained musician, so I wasn't playing around with this, but Pete just showed me that he wasn't as serious as I was, and we had a conversation about it, and just kind of went on our separate ways. But this guy, I got to share this story of us hanging out one Christmas. Actually, here's the thing with me and Pete too. We were tight. We were tight growing up. After we met in high school, we became the best of boys. So, we would swap homes. Like I would sometimes have, go over to his home for Thanksgiving or Christmas, and he'd come to my home for Thanksgiving, Christmas, and vice versa. So, but one year and here's the other thing, his birthday, he shares his birthday with his sister on Christmas Eve. How bananas is that? A Christmas baby, twins. Yeah, bananas. So this one year though, we decide to go shopping. Me, P, and his sister. And I'll never forget it because these two, this was the first time, I'd hung out with them before, at our buddy's house, Lavelle. Hey, Jones. We would, we got to talk about that too. I miss those guys. I miss hanging out at the house. That was such a good space. But this was the first time that I had hung out with the both of them in public like this. And it was like a sitcom, like a movie. Because if I recall, we were running around that store, and then there were so many people, and there was like, their voices like high pitched. It's hard to describe. It's hard to get into character about it. But, just imagining two people who actually really look alike. I don't know if you've ever hung out with twins before, but two people that look alike and act alike, but they get on each other's nerve because they're like each other. It's crazy. It's really bizarre when you really think about it. And if you've never been around twins, you wouldn't know this, but it was just so bizarre. And I just remember us like trying to make deals with people in the store. It was just funny. Like they were cracking jokes the whole time with people and trying to, make deals with the salespeople. I was like, what the hell is going on here? We ran around the store for about 2.5 hours. They got lost. I think Jada got lost, or we couldn't find her, or we were standing in line. You know what? It's hard for me to describe it, but it was fun. It was, in the end, it was fun because we got some deals. We had so much. I think something happened. Like we got security put us out, or I don't know, man. I just remember hanging out with two twins on Christmas Eve for their birthday, and it was also, Christmas shopping, like people doing last minute Christmas shopping. If you've never been in that experience in a mall like that, it is undescribable. I know they've made movies about it, but you would have had to been there. It was just so bizarre, so weird. I think after that experience though, I stopped shopping. I started becoming the Grinch that stole Christmas. I was like, I'm not going back to another mall on Christmas Eve, 20 days before Christmas. I'm not stepping near another mall ever again. Ever. And I didn't. After that, I was like, I remember living in the valley, and they had Canoga Park. Canoga Park had this mall. It was like 2 football fields. That's how they described it. And you know what? No matter what time of the day it was, no matter what time of the day, there was always cars. A gang of cars in the parking lot. And I would drive by going to Hollywood, jumping on the freeway. This is the early part of Canoga Park before I moved to Culver City. I would drive by and go, what are people doing out here? They're at the mall at 8 o'clock, 10 o'clock in the morning. What are they doing? What are they buying? What are they shopping? So I took a couple days off and just walked around the mall, during the holidays. And they're just people upon people, just walking, moving about, buying stuff, kids everywhere, screaming, yelling. I'd never seen that before in my life. It was different. It's very different. So I went over to the Grove the other day. That was kind of a trip. I drove into a parking lot mayhem. So the thing about going to the malls, it's fun to see all these people and the lights and the Christmas trees, and people are smiling, but the phones have really taken away from that connectivity in those open arenas. Like they have a ice rink here in downtown, Staples Center. And I rode my bike around a little bit, took a few pictures, and it's fun. Different strokes for different folks. But no malls for me. I'm over that. One year I bought people books. I bought my entire family books for Christmas. I know they're like, what kind of jackass is this guy? It's like a smart one. Here's a book. Read a book. It's like, I'm not buying into this holiday consumerism, even though I grew up, I didn't know any better, I just didn't know. I was like, Christmas come around, you wanted gifts. That's what it was about. It's about Santa Claus, but we didn't have a chimney. We had a heater. And I was like, they were like, folks be like, it's a trip. Some people are like so cynical, to destroy a kid's imagination about Santa Claus. It's like, oh, well, Santa Claus is not real. It's like, so what? Who cares? I want to believe in him. He's going to bring me gifts, and that's all that matters. You sourpuss about Christmas. You got to stay away from negative people. I have a pin that says I'm allergic to negative people. And I need to wear it on my forehead, on my knit hat ever so often. Just wear it. That'll block people from, saying stuff. Should never. It's a holiday. Just don't get into the nonsense of it. It's jolly. You get a sugar high from food and stuff, and you don't do that all year long. Thank God. I don't. The more I think about it, no, we couldn't have Christmas every day. We can have the spirit of Christmas, but not the eating part of sugary snacks and food that you should not be eating, but only once a year. Heck, I knew. As a kid. Yeah, we knew Santa Claus wasn't, this. Well, he was real as real. I mean, at the J.C. Penney's when, Santa Claus was there, we have pictures where we sat in his lap, looked real to me. What do I know, And they were like, oh, there's no sleigh, there's no reindeers. Oh, I was like, well, how do you know this? It had to come from somewhere. The idea had to come from somewhere, all right? Might have been a shooting star on a Christmas, on a Christmas day. Maybe someone looked up and saw a shooting star. It's like, no, it was red. It was red, and I swear it was like a reindeer galloping in the sky. You never know where this stuff comes from. But the imagination is who we are, and I wish that people use it a little more often and not be so distracted by the nonsensical. Should I tell another story? Do I have time? I'll go an hour. I'll go an hour live. I don't know if anybody's listening or not. Let me give some shout outs out there. Let me give some Christmas shout outs. I'll give a shout out to R.W. Stein Painting Company. I love this guy. Happy holidays, Bob. If you got any paint work or general contract work you need, give Bob a call. He does residential and commercial and industrial. He's EPA LEED certified, and I trust him. He's a very awesome guy. You can reach him at www.rwsteinpainting.com. Or you can give them a call at 1-800-878-4702. That's my Christmas gift to you, Bob. I hope you're having a good time, man. He's really a great dude indeed. In my book, I want to give a shout out to the good folks. Good folks that, you know what? I'll come back to that because I can't pronounce their name and I want to get it right. In the meantime, I want to give a shout out to Armor Moving and Storage Systems. That's Mike Schnell over there. Michael and Eric, happy holidays. These guys helped me out so I can't express, but they helped me out and they came through as a moving company here in LA. If you really need the help in moving your business, moving your home, these are the guys to call. Armor Moving and Storage Systems. As for Michael Schnell or his son Eric, they can be reached at 310-836-0792. That's Armor Moving and Storage here in the LA area. They're located in Culver City and they've been around since 1979. Michael is a really awesome dude, and I have to give him a call and check in on them. They, like I said, they came through on a project, and I hope they got paid because they were supposed to get paid. So anyway, Christmas story. I got this one story. This happened. I don't know if I want to share that story. I guess I got to. Oh God, don't want to show this story. All right. So, I believe I was still in high school. Yeah, still in high school. Jeez, do I want to tell this story? Yeah, why not? There's only one other person that was part of the story. I don't know where he is. It's like my cousin, Tommy Anders. Yeah, I called his name out. Anyway, Tommy would come through while I was working at McDonald's. He would come through afterwards. You know, around the time it was time for me to leave, my shift was over, and then we'll just go up to Berkeley or we go to the city. So he talked me into going to the city, and we would just travel about on the train, on the BART. You know, two brothers with trench coats and umbrellas on their back. Tommy was cool. He's a weird dude. He just had a really great personality. He moved in right next door, you know, to our apartments in the house. Him and his dad, his sister, and his mom. I think his mom, rest her soul. But me and Tommy, one New Year's, oh my God, we decided for New Year's. Yeah, I was still in working at McDonald's. I think this might have been, this is still me working at McDonald's. We went to San Francisco to meet this girl. Now, before, people don't know this, but before the whole online dating thing, there was these phone dating. Phone dating was a thing, meaning you call this number and they have the party line. So my brother, of course, this guy was in it. He was like hooking up with girls on this phone line. He's like, dude, you should check it out. It's kind of cool. So I started, you know, talking to chicks on this phone line. And it's having this really interesting conversation with this girl, and we exchanged numbers, and she would call and we'd talk, and she was like, "Yeah, you should come and visit me here." And I was like, "Where you stay?" She's like, "The Tenderloins." I was like, well, "Tenderloins? What's that? The Tenderloins?" So I asked asked Tommy. He's like, oh yeah, I know where that is. It's in San Francisco. It's in the city. We can go over there, take the train. And so we mapped it out where we got the train, the BART to one of the munis, to go visit her for New Year's. Oh my God. It was New Year's. It was for New Year's. Oh shit. It was for New Year's. All right. So yeah, I tell you, I got stories. I might need a little sip. Let me get a little sip before I go in this part 2 here. I call this one Space Dust. I'm definitely singing to this one. I have to share it with you later though. So, oh gosh, all right. I started. I got to keep going, right? All right. And the hour's almost up. I got about 7 minutes. So, I'm talking to this girl. She had been calling when we were talking, and she would get a little freaky on the phone. Just saying stuff that just, was, get me fired up to go see her. I was like, yo, this is cool. Here's the thing. Remember, this is just a phone. So you don't know what the person looked like. You have no idea what the person looked like. This online social dating hadn't even been created yet. So this is just phone. So you don't know what the person looked like. You're going off of their voice. This is crazy times. Y'all don't understand me. It's the 80s. Oh gosh. I know a lot of people did the phone dating too. I mean, they had a party line. You call any line, this number, and you could get in and you talk to all kind of people, and folks be talking and exchanging numbers. It was crazy. It's like a party on the phone. That's what it was. It was a party on the phone. So, I finally, I tell Tommy, I was like, yo, you gotta go see this girl. And he's like, you don't know what she looked like? I was like, no, dude. He's like, how old is she? She said she's like, 20, 25, 30. I don't know, some 30. He's like, so she's an older chick. I was like, yeah, that's what she said, man. I don't know. She got her own place and stuff. So I tell her we go see her for New Year's. He's like, all right, but, you don't know what she looked like. I was like, yeah, dude, but I guess that's the chance we'll have to take. I mean, what's it matter what a person, should look like anyway, right? I'm trying to talk myself into this, and, oh man, I'm laughing because I'm imagining, I'm being transported to what, to what happened. And I just remember Tommy this guy, he couldn't hold it. So, granted, we get on the BART. Now, she's in the Tenderloin. She said she lived in Tenderloins. Now, remember, I'm in high school. I'm like 15, probably just turning 16. What do I know about the Tenderloins or San Francisco? I don't know anything. You know what I mean? I didn't know what area we were walking to. I had no idea. We were just exploring the Bay Area. That's Tommy. He's a weirdo like that. We would go wherever we wanted. It was like, nobody messed with us. And nobody messed with us either. Would you mess with two young black dudes carrying umbrellas on their shoulders that look like Uzis, but and trench coats? You wouldn't mess with those guys. No, you wouldn't. That's funny, by the way. So we get on the train, and that's why I started laughing, because Tommy kept making jokes. He kept making jokes. He's like, dude, you don't know what she looks like, and you're a good dude, And you're a handsome dude. He's like, but what if she? And I remember talking to him and saying, like, dude, it shouldn't matter about the voice, that's shallow, that's shallow. You shouldn't even be worried about that. You know what I mean? If that's what she sounds like, we can rock with that. Who knows? Nah, yo. Scratch all of that. We get off. All right. So the ride was crazy, though. The ride there was crazy. And Grant, this is New Year's. Now, I didn't say I was going to hang out with her for the entire New Year's. I said we would come through before we head to our New Year's event, because we had another party to go to. Because that was my way. If she was cool, now I would stay with her throughout the day, and then Tommy would take off. If she wasn't cool, we had a backup plan for me to get the hell out of there as quick as possible. So we mapped it down all the way to, now remember, there's no cell phones. This is a time with no cell phones. You had the phone booths, and you make a call, and you had to follow through on stuff. That's it. That's just my try. Oh, so, I got distractions. So yeah, this is the 80s. There's no cell phones. They're pay phones. Gotta have quarters. You gotta have dimes. And you make a plan. You gotta follow through on it, because there it is. So we mapped it out all the way to, where she lived. She said there would be a phone booth, when we get off at a certain point, call her from there, and then she would meet us, like halfway from where she lives to the meetup point. So we get off the train. Sure enough, we had to get on the Muni. We jumped on the Muni, and the Muni station, the Muni bus let us off. And there was the phone booth. So I go to the phone booth, make the call. I call her. Yo, what's up? It's PatMan. And she's like, okay, you here? I was like, yep. And all of a sudden I just got this feeling, this feeling, this over. Oh God, I'm feeling the feeling right now. That's the crazy part. This happened many moons ago, but I haven't talked about it. In a very long time. I don't think I've talked about it since, and yeah, I don't think too many people know this story. So, she said she would meet us. Yeah, she would meet us halfway. So we were walking. It was a little wet outside, So we're walking. We got our trench coats on, our umbrellas, and I see her, or who I thought was her, and she's like, Patrick? I was like, oh, and I look over at Tommy, and he can't hold his laughter in. He's lost it. He's totally lost it. And I couldn't laugh. I was like, this guy, what is he doing? He cannot hold it. He's laughing so hard that he's falling over. And I'm sitting there looking at her like, yeah. And he just goes into this laughter that he couldn't, he's wearing his glasses. He's taking his glasses off, and now he's into that laugh of where you don't even hear words. You just hear, like breathing, and I was nervous because this girl was not 30 something. She was definitely not 30 something. I don't know what age she was, tell the truth. She may have been 40, maybe possibly 50, possibly. I don't know. So, like the nice chump that I am, I couldn't like, be like, cause the plan B of the B was like, if she wasn't who she says she is, or if she wasn't if she wasn't fine, we were going to run. And I think Tommy was prepared to run, but I didn't understand what was happening. I was like, there's no way this is happening. This woman, she was definitely 40 something. So here's the thing. You probably want to know what happened. What happened? What happened? So we didn't run. I couldn't run. Like I said, my legs were stiff. I could not run. I was like, oh my God, this is crazy. So I played it off, gave her a hug. And she's like, all right, well, we're going back to my place. I was like, yeah, sure. Yeah, sure. We go back, and remember, it's early. So it's, New Year's hasn't happened. It's like a few hours away. But like I said, we were either going to stay there if she wasn't fly. We're whatever. So we get back to her place, and it's, oh gosh, this is crazy. I'm remembering this. And as I'm remembering it, I'm bringing back all the energy. It was crazy. Her home smelled like old people. It smelled like, I don't know, crackers and Vienna sausages mixed with mentholatum or medicine. That's what it smelled like, with perfume on top of that. That's what I remember smelling as I walked into her place. And we go to sit on her couch, and Tommy is he can't even hold his laughter in. And I'm looking like, I'm going to kill this guy. And, so we sit down. She's like, you guys want something to drink? I was like, yeah, sure. Meanwhile, Tommy is in tears, and he finally had to compose himself. And as he's trying to talk, his voice, I just remember his voice sounded like he was stuttering because he couldn't stop laughing. And I was like, dude, I'm going to kill this guy. So I go in the bathroom. I was like, can I use the restroom? So I was like, I gotta get the hell out of here. I go to the restroom. Here's the thing. I go to the restroom. Why does she have the granny panties hanging up on the shower curtain? No. She got the granny panties hanging up on the shower curtain. That was it. I threw some water on my face. I slapped myself around a couple of times. Literally, I slapped myself around. I'm not even lying. And I came up with I said, I came out and I said, she sat down. Yeah, we sat and drinking, like, I think it was some lemonade or something. And Tommy, this guy, I'm telling you, it was so hard, but this guy was in tears and he couldn't hold it in. He just sitting there on the couch, like, just trying not to laugh, because this chick, she was a brown skinned complected sister, but she had this really oily skin that made it look like, she had just smeared Vaseline all over her face, like shiny and just shiny. And I couldn't tell if that was her hair or she was wearing a wig. It was just bizarre. And then she had this like lacy, like, garter belt clothes on, like she was trying to be sexy, old sexy black woman. I was like, my God, and I'll never get over the scent. Like I said, I'm not lying. It smelled like, I stopped eating Vienna sausages after that. It smelled like Vienna sausages and feet, toes, and and perfume, old stinky perfume though, because I love perfume cologne. So and anybody that know me, I'm a highly sensitive dude. I can smell things that's happening 2 weeks from now. So yeah. So how we get out of it? I told her, I said, hey, we have to go. We got to go to this party. And we said that we would, get there before midnight. So sorry, we're not going to be able to stay. And she's like, oh, well, I'm just glad you came by. La, la, la. It was such a good to see you. And, I too bad you can't stay later. I was like, yeah, too bad. And Tommy's like cracking jokes. I was like, dude, I'm going to kill this guy. Cause he kept saying like, no, I can take the train back if you want to stay. I was like, dude, I will choke you. I will choke you, man. And she walked us out. I gave her a hug. She was trying to sneak in a kiss. She was trying to sneak in a kiss, yo. Not even okay. Not even okay at all. And we got on the Muni and headed back to San Francisco and walked around a bit, wishing people Happy New Year's on the streets. Tommy never stopped laughing. He laughed like the whole ride. He laughed the whole ride back to Oakland. It was crazy. It was really, really crazy. So when people ask me about online dating, I'm going, you know what? No. For me, it goes back to before. At least now, everybody's got digital cameras. I got other stories too, but I'm not gonna share those right now. I think I've shared enough. I hope you've enjoyed these greatest stories never told by the PatMan, real life in Oakland. It's fun times. And the beauty about this podcast, you can listen to it again if you want to. I think you should bring it up on Christmas. Gather round, boys and girls. I've got a story from the PatMan. He's going to tell you about his childhood stories while listening to funky music in the background. Listen for Heater Skeeter coming soon. Not sure what I'm going to do. I might add some spoken word on top of it. Do some singing. I don't know. I can do what I want to do when I want to do it. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year's. I hope your life is full of bliss, full of love, joy, dynamic consciousness, all that. If you don't like somebody or something, well, get them out your life and change whatever you don't like. Do something different. You have the intelligent voice to do that. Know what I mean? This is the intelligent human voice podcast network. I'm your host, the PatMan. It's been the Stone Gas. Peace, love, and soul.